I am so happy that you're able to join us for this extended interview. Make sure to visit theoffbeatlife.com. Again, that's theoffbeatlife.com to get more killer resources. Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining us for this extended interview with Molly, where she's going to share how to date as a disabled person. Hey Molly.
Hi.
How are you?
Good.
You're good?
Hungry and tired, but good.
I know. We're here with Johnson & Johnson, and they've been treating us so well, and we've learned so much from them. So before we get to the nitty-gritty stuff, like, dating and all of that, can you tell us a little bit more about you and why you live an offbeat life?
So, I'm blind. I'm a blind 24-year-old woman who loves makeup and fashion. I'm a YouTuber, motivational speaker, and commercial model. I'm originally from Canada, but I live in Los Angeles. Not that I'm ever there, because I'm constantly traveling with my amazing guide dog, Gallop, and my amazing mom/assistant, Neve, or Niham, if you look at her name spelt out.
Yeah, I was confused about that. I was
It's
like,
a
how do you say
Gaelic
her name?
Yeah, so it's Niamh and pronounced Neve. Super confusing for people.
So tell us what it's like dating for you, because you're this celebrity. People recognize you, but what is it like for you as a 24-year-old woman to date? It's already hard enough to date in general.
Right.
But to have a disability, what is that like?
It's like when my friends complain about dating. I'm like, girl, you have nothing. Nothing to complain about. I feel like I have, like, a number of major things that, like, work. No, I don't want to say work against me, because that seems super negative, and it's, like, not necessarily true, but I've, like, some major things that I have to cope with, and others do when I'm dating. Which is, of course, my blindness, my crazy travel schedule, my career path, which makes me be very in the public eye and recognized, and, my story very known, and that I just generally have a very loud, sassy, big personality. So between all of those things, it's like a lot for people to get behind and get a hold of. So it definitely makes dating a bit challenging. But I also think it's kind of like, just filters out the ones that aren't for me. It's like, I just don't even have to waste my time with the not right guys, because they won't even give me a chance. So finding the positives.
When you're trying to find a partner or even just someone to hang out with, how do you do it? Because you travel so much and you don't stay at one place. What is that like?
Well, I've met a lot of friends on the road, like in these situations on brand trips or work events, whatever it might be. And it's kind of fun because a lot of them also have the same lifestyle as me. So they'll be like, hey, I'll hit you up when I'm in LA. Let me know when you're in New York. And I think it's like really fun, really fun like that. So I enjoy that. I try to go to as much social events when I'm home in LA as I can to meet new people, especially because I've only lived there for 8-9 months. So I am still trying to make my social circle, and I feel like I'm finally getting there. It's always nice having people in your industry that understand your lifestyle, and that you might end up at the same events with and be like, hey, let's hang out at this event. See you there. Or let's film a video together where, like, we can hang out but also get work done, because we need to get work done because we're busy humans. So that's always good. I tried the online dating thing. You suck so much of your time, and I have so little free time to begin with that I don't want to waste 2 weeks of my life talking to a guy only to meet up with him and have zero chemistry and feel like I just wasted so much precious time that I'm never going to get back and could have been so much better spent sleeping. So I feel like online dating isn't really for me. It's also, you're like battling this tricky line of like, do I put that I'm blind in my profile? Do I put that I'm a YouTuber in my profile? Do I hide those things and tell them after we've built a connection? And there's a lot of safety issues that, go into dating with a disability that I think people don't think about. More than 90% of disabled women are sexually assaulted and raped.
Wow.
And that is something that is not really spoken about. And it's really interesting because media loves to desexualize disabled women, but then we're also one of the most at risk for being sexually assaulted. And then when we come forward and when we talk about it and we try to seek help, we're not believed, or it's one of those things where it's like, we could be in an abusive relationship and it's like, oh, well, you're lucky to have somebody.
Yeah.
You know, like, you're just lucky somebody will accept you. And I'm like, no, we're valuable too. We add value to people's lives. Like, we all have flaws, and I don't even personally view my disability as a flaw, and I would like to think that a lot of my ex-boyfriends wouldn't view it as a flaw either. And, you know, one of my ex-boyfriends was even asked, like, what was the biggest difference between dating a disabled girl? And he's like, honestly, like, nothing. She can't drive. That's it. Like, and a lot of sighted people are just crappy drivers anyways, or afraid of driving, or live in a city so they don't bother driving.
Nobody drives here in New York.
Exactly. And so it's one of those things where it's like, I find guys that see my value and not see me for what I don't or can't do.
So when we talked before, you talked about finding dates sometimes in apps, and then you don't know if you're going to put on your profile if you're blind or you're a YouTube star. But also the fact that you're so successful, right?
That also has been a challenge that I don't think I necessarily realized would be a challenge. Because my ex, who I was with the longest, we were together for 2.5 years, and he's just an incredible person, and I still have the highest love and respect for him. I mean, it sounds awful, like cocky to say it, but like I was always more successful than him, and he just didn't have a problem with that.
Yeah.
We always used to joke that I was his sugar mama, even though I was like younger than him, because, you know, I would pick up the check if it was a more expensive meal out, or I would bring him on a vacation to Mexico for Christmas, and he would get me like $100 ring. And to us, it wasn't about like who spent more money on a gift or like that kind of thing. It was just like, we're in a partnership, and it doesn't matter who's bringing what to the table, because as long as we're loving, communicating, and supporting and trusting one another and helping each other live our best lives, that's what a relationship is really about. And so after that relationship ended 3 years ago, I didn't anticipate the challenge I would now face, and I've only realistically found more success, which has been great for me to follow my dream and do well at it. But now I'm like, oh wow, there's a lot of guys who
are intimidated
or emasculated by it. I mean, I had a guy literally tell me to my face, I would never date a woman more successful than me.
Wow.
And I would never date you because you're more successful. And I was like, wow. Like, that's crazy to me. That is so nuts. Like, that's really not what a relationship should be about. Like, that's such toxic masculinity at work, and I hate that. Because to me, it honestly, like, yes, at this point in my life, I would love a guy who could contribute. Like, I would prefer to date a man who's not in college and racking up debt, and who's not, you know, who has a career that he's passionate about and he loves and he works hard for. But whether I buy the dinner or he does, I don't care. Whether I have a nicer apartment or he does, I don't care. That doesn't matter to me. I just want somebody I can share this with and who I can share their successes with.
Yeah, and that's the thing. We work really hard, right? But at the end of the day, too, we want someone to share it with, but with the right
What are we
person.
working so hard for all this for?
Exactly.
Like, for me, yes, it's like a great personal victory to do all this and achieve my goals, and it's great to know that I'm able to help so many other people through pursuing my passions. But at the end of the day, I want somebody personal who I can snuggle in bed with that's not just my dog, and share it with.
Even though that's really nice.
Yeah.
So if our listeners want to know more about you, where can they find you?
At Molly Burke Official on Instagram, mollyburkeofficial.com, and youtube.com/Molly Burke Official. I also have Twitter and Facebook, but they're like pretty much the same. Twitter is just at Molly B Official. It's just a lot of Molly Burke and being official.
Thank you, Molly. You are so inspiring to me, and I'm sure so many people are inspired by your story. Thank you so much for talking to us.
I love
and
this.
I can't wait to party with you tonight.
Yes, I'm going to go eat and sleep, so I'm well rested for some Shawn Mendes, Hunting Down My Husband.
Yeah. Thanks, girl.
Bye.
I hope you enjoyed this extended interview with Molly. Make sure to visit theoffbeatlife.com. Again, that's theoffbeatlife.com to get the full interview with Molly, where she shares how to overcome adversity and fight stereotypes. Hey Offbeat family, I really appreciate you listening to this episode. I would love to hear more from you and what you think of the podcast. Suggestions on guests, topics we can discuss, or maybe you just want to be friends. Why don't we chat some more on Facebook at The OB Life, or send me a message at hello@theoffbeatlife.com. I can't wait to hear from you.